Hello and welcome to episode 41 of Unemployed to Unstoppable. It's transfer time. And welcome back. So I've filtered out some of the squad players at the minute. We've brought a few players in on loan, but before I filter them back in, I'll show you what the incomings and outgoings have been so far. Basically, I've just clicked through to the 1st, 2nd of July so I can see the players coming out of the Premier League teams so we can evaluate who we do and don't want to sign. So we'll get into the transfer screen once I can see and I stop going blind. So transfer in wise, we just have to go back towards the end of the previous season. I don't know why it's not showing my previous season. Bear with me 1 second. Welcome back. I've stopped being daft within transfer history. I just need to change the drop down. So towards the end of last season we did bring in a few players, so I'll just take you through the ones we just got in prior to the end of the season. So we got John Flynn. It's a promising right back. He's coming with a lot of high potential. Probably not quite the current ability yet, but he's got a good lot of potential. As I said before, we want to try and get that potential up. We've got Callum Murray, which we got from Man City. Again, he looks like a really good player stat-wise, especially within the mental side of it and the physical. So again, possibly not quite ready for a first-team berth yet, but he's another one that's really hot for the future. Got Pat Clayton from Man United, a midfielder, defender. Again, not bad stats, a lot of potential that we're hopefully going to just keep him for 1 or 2 seasons, maybe send him out on loan, see what we can do with him. Richard McLaughlin, midfielder on the right, so a winger. Again, nothing great in terms of his individual stats, but overall he's looking like he could develop into quite a good player. Engin Karabay, we got in as a young left back. Again, we got one on the right, so we've brought one in on the left. Again, high potential player. We'll probably get him out on loan and see what we can develop him into. And then I'm most excited about Joe Maggs, who we've managed to get in on loan. I mean, his stats are fantastic. He's already come in at 20 years old, is easily our best current ability striker. So, yeah, I'm excited about what he can do. In terms of outgoings, just before the end of the season, we let Paul Anton go. He was taking up a huge wage bill. Warren Cleaver, again, we left. The fans weren't too happy with Cleaver going because he was high potential homegrown. So I've got to be a bit weary of that in the future. Spin on to just into the start of this season then. I signed Rodri Sion Piers, another right winger. He's looking another really good potential player for that right wing berth as well. So that's another promising one. And then I'll just let a few players go who didn't really have any potential and we didn't really want them in the squad. So squad wise then, that means once I filter them back in, we're currently looking like this. And you need to ignore a couple because I've got a whole load of players in on loan at the minute. But in terms of transfers, we've made an offer for Danny van der Hoevel as a young goalkeeper, and he's basically to replace the one I let go. But this keeper's got a lot of potential again. Backup, but he could be good. Will Ferry rejected, Urzi rejected, and we've got Cameron Poupion, again, another player. This time he's on the left wing. Again, young player. He's probably good enough now, and he'll develop further. So not a bad start to the transfer window so far. We will do a little bit more looking at what we can do. But in terms of the actual squad itself, I think we're looking all right in terms of a starting lineup. We're going to the team report. Again, that's kind of our best tactic. You'll see Abdelmalik is in the shadow striker role. He's come back from his loan at Oxford last season, and he's a homegrown Millwall player, so we're looking to integrate him into the squad this season. In terms of squad depth then, strikers, we've got Mags, Alexander, Hoevel. We can maybe bring in another young prospect if one becomes available, but because we only play one up top, I'm not too concerned about that in a minute. On the left, we've got Murphy, Smith, Poupion, Mason Bennett, And Lunga, who's another one who's he's one of our homegrown players, been away on loan. He's come back. We might integrate him into the squad this season. So again, looking strong in that position. We're a bit weak in that attacking midfield centre role. I'm not sure if that's what we're going to go for at the start of the season yet. If I can get somebody else in on loan, then maybe we'll go with that. We'll see. Right wing, ignore Peter Atiba. He's never going to play on the right wing. Got Paul Smith, Murphy, Pupion, Bennett. So again, not too bad. Centre mid, Atiba, we managed to keep a hold of him, and we've triggered a 1-year extension, so we'll get to keep him for a bit longer. Thompson, Davenport was in on loan from Exeter. You might remember him. I'm not sure if I'm going to sign him or not. He might be a cheap option to bolster the midfield, but again, we'll see what else is there. Then we've got Leonard and Tavares, so we're looking all right in that position too. Left back, we've got Wallace. Johnston can play out there. Palmer can play out there. Elder. And we've got a couple of young prospects left and right back as well. Again, in the centre of defence, we've got Palmer and Wallace and Johnston. So not too bad. Maybe one more 3.5 to 4 star would be good in there. And then in goals, we've got Ripley with our new young player, Danny van der Hoevel, if we manage to sign him. So as a start, we're looking pretty good. We've taken a bit of a pound into the transfer and wage budget. We've not got too much left in there. 6,000 in wages isn't a lot. We've got no transfer budget, but that's just because I've slid the slider along to eke out a little bit more wages for the players we've got. Back into the squad then. There are a couple of players that we may look to move on. I did see one earlier that I really would like to move on out of the squad. So again, Jamie Patterson, he's one. He's getting on a bit now. No one's interested in him. He's 2-star potential, 2-star current ability. Probably need to move him on. Outside of that, most of our players are quite younger in on loan. So I'll do a little bit more transfer dealing, seeing what we can and can't get. I have seen a couple players available for loan. We might just get 1 or 2 in to bolster the squad. But stay tuned. I'll click through a little bit and I'll bring you back once I've got some more news. Here's a quick update to upset the apple cart a little bit. Danny Mcnamara, one of our better players. Sheffield Wednesday have been trying all summer to buy him. I've kept rejecting it, but it's got to the point now the board's taken it out of my hands. They said the offer's too good and they've accepted it on our behalf. So we could be saying cheerio to Danny Mcnamara, which, although it'll free up a bit of wage budget and a little bit of transfer budget, it's going to be quite hard to find a direct replacement. So I might have to dip into the loan market, but I will keep you posted as we move on. And welcome back. So we've approached the end of the window before the first game. We were unfortunately beat to a couple of the loan signings we wanted. So we're still a little bit short. That being said, I've promoted a couple of players from the youth team. So Lewich is up as a reserve keeper at the minute, although I do have another keeper with an offer in from Italy, a young goalkeeper who's got better potential and better current ability. So if I can get him in, Kappa will be dropped back down to the reserves. Ezoeli, he's another one who's come up, high potential. And again, they won't all stay in the squad when I finalise at the start of the season. They're just here to give me numbers and who we've got in. Our Australian left back Elder, we've let him go. He wanted an improved contract. We didn't have the funds to do it. He was aging and he was our reserve left back anyway. Tends to play behind Wallace, so we let him go. That means Engin Karabey, who we signed for the future, will be a deputy for that position. But what that has meant is we've got a little bit of a increased wage budget to get some players in. So I've put in a couple offers. So Zach Howie on loan from Aston Villa. We're hoping he's going to come in to bolster the defence. And a free sign-in for Rocco Belusi as a youth prospect goalkeeper. I'll still be looking for 1 or 2 more signings just to finish off the team for the season. A quick look at the report then shows you roughly how we're looking. So again, I think we're quite strong along the back four, strong in the midfield, reasonably okay on the wings and up front. I think that's still my suspect position, is just behind the front man, whether it's a shadow striker or a playmaker. I think that's still the weak position, because a TB still got to come into this midfield as well. So I think we're looking pretty good. A quick look at the squad depth then shows you that, yeah, we're looking reasonably strong. I've not looked at the prediction for a while. I think we were about 100 to 1. We'll just have a quick look. 150 to 1, so we've got worse, or everyone else has got better. But like I said, I've been struggling to find the right players to bring in. For a long time, there was a player, McGurk, from Nottingham Forest. I wanted to get in on loan. I couldn't just quite stretch the wages, and then by the time I got the wages in, someone else had snapped him up. So again, I'm just looking at a couple of other players as they crop up to see if we can get them in on loan to bolster the squad. But I'm not going to bring anyone in unless they improve the team now. We've got quite a big squad as it is. I think we're reasonable in terms of the starting lineup. So our transfer business is just about concluded. I'll click through just in case we can finalise any of them transfers before the first game of the season. But I think we'll have to knock it on the head for the transfer special as we move into the league games. We've not strengthened quite as strong as I would have liked. I didn't realise we would be so restricted by the wage budget. There were certainly a few loan players became available, but we just couldn't stretch the funding to how we wanted to go. Again, I've had scouts out all over the place looking for available players. I haven't quite been able to find ones within the wage budget that would improve the team. So again, let me know in the comment section if you would have done things differently. If there's any areas you would have tried to strengthen differently. I don't think I can afford to let him go out on loan now. So we're going to reject that. We'll probably remove him from loan listed because we can't let our reserve left back go out. Johnson's a centre half. He's not going to be playing at left back many times. And we just need to give our youngsters a bit of time to get embedded in. So overall, not too bad a window. Not the best, not the worst. But I think all in all, we've strengthened the squad. So I'm happy. Once again, thanks for watching. If you like what you've seen, stick a thumb up it. If you haven't liked what you've seen, don't stick a thumb up on it. And please, if you want to make sure you don't miss out on any episodes, please hit the subscribe button. And that way you can stay up to date with how we progress through this next season. As you can see, the friendlies, we didn't get beat. Got a couple alright results. Bristol Rovers is probably the best result out of all them. Maybe the home game against Lens is good as well. And I will come back and we will kick off the season with Norwich and Sunderland. So I will see you soon.